good? What's good to my freedom marchers and the anti-freedom marchers, aka statists? You know, we know y'all come up in here and shadow watch. Y'all like the shadow watch. It's all good. Keep shadow watching. You feel me? How y'all doing? It is Wednesday, February 9th, 2021, or 2022 actually. I just got to dropping my mom off at the airport. She visited me in South Carolina to help for my birthday, which is on February 4th, and to you know, help out, get things settled, you know what I'm saying? So me and my wife can run around and do certain things while my kids were at home with her. Next week, my mother-in-law is going to be here, although I'm not sure she's going to be as helpful. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Brandon Tatum, man, the Officer Tatum, and his sheer hypocrisy and his I don't even know what to call it, man. I don't want to say he's an idiot. I want to say that he is intellectually dishonest, man. So this guy,
proceed on
you know, it's funny how words are only words when certain people say words. But if others say words, words aren't just words. You understand what I'm saying? So this is his thing about racial slurs, right? When it comes to Joe Rogan. Oh, it's just a word. He was using the word. He was quoting people, other people saying the word. But what about the time he was talking about going into a black neighborhood and it being, or in a black area where there was all these black people, and it being like Planet of the Apes? He wasn't quoting shit then. He was relating a story. Anyway, listen. It's always just about, it's just a word to me. It don't bother me. But when it comes to the word cracker, he thinks cracker is a racist term. Right? If we say cracker, that's racist, and he has a problem with it. But Joe Rogan can say the N-word with the hard ER, right? And it's not racist. You understand what I'm saying? So the problem with that is the lack of consistency. And you know, even though Brandon Tatum, he's not always the most well-spoken or articulate individual, and he uses big words out of context to a high degree, he still has a level of intelligence where he's a hustler, all right? Brandon Tatum is a hustler who's hustling these white folks, these white conservatives, because he knows what they want to hear. The most real thing he said the most realest shit I've ever heard him say. When Donald Trump signed that $6.2 trillion stimulus package, the second one that came through, right, where everybody got $600. That was the realest shit. That live stream where he said that he was done with Trump and he was talking about how Trump was spending his money and all this other. That was the realest shit he ever said. And they came for his neck and he walked it back. He knew he slipped up. He was sipping on a little something. But this is the point. Brandon Tatum is not an honest individual, right? He's not a very honest individual. And his actions don't match. His actions don't match the words that are coming out of his mouth. All right? And he says shit that he knows is bullshit and will ride it out. He will ride it till the wheels fall off as long as his white conservative base is still rocking with him. Like when this fool said that, he said what Whoopi Goldberg said about, you know, the Holocaust not being about race was racist, right? Okay, let's look at that. How is it racist if it's your belief that the Holocaust wasn't about race? Because the focus of Hitler's ire were a group of white people that he felt weren't pure because they didn't have blue blonde hair, blue eyes. That's getting more into genetics. That's getting deeper into like phenotypes, right? That's not race, because there are black people who can have blonde hair, blue eyes. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. The point is, I understand where Whoopi Goldberg was coming from.
I-20
You think it's racist,
is on the right.
but really it's extreme puritanism. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you want to believe this, right? Everybody comes from Africa, right? Every human being. But then there are some that branch off from the Neanderthal, right? There were some, because the Cro-Magnon men, which came from Africa, came into contact with the Neanderthal, and the Neanderthal basically became extinct, or they mixed with the Cro-Magnon people, and the Cro-Magnon genes were stronger, and then here you have the human beings, right, from the European Caucasus Mountains. But the bottom line is, we all come from Africa. That's our oldest ancestor is from Africa, and then over time the group split up, whatever, and then races came about. But I kind of see where Whoopi Goldberg is coming from. She just couldn't articulate it very well, because Hitler wanted to wipe out the Jews, right? The Jays, the small hats. And it had more to do with their nomadism, right? Because, okay, essentially the Jays had no country. They were like wandering people. Those type of Jays. I don't really want to get into all that because it's going to take me too far on the tangent. But the bottom line is, Hitler was a Jay, right? Hitler was a Jay. And his thing was about the purity of the race. Of the race that he went after. The purity of the race. Not, that race, this race. Because many of the Jews, most of them, that fell under his destructive behavior were white. That's just real shit. They were white. They were ethnic white, whatever you want to call them. Ethnic, whatever you want to call them, right? Because many of the Jays were Mediterranean, right? Which is a warmer climate, so they might have had, for whatever reason, they're in a Mediterranean climate. They're in, the Arabias, where that area is, where there's a lot of desert, more sunlight. They're a little, you know what I'm saying? But they're still white, right? Just like you have white Arabs, then you have dark Arabs that mix with the Moors and all this other shit. But that's getting into a lot of shit. But I see where she's coming from, because a lot of those German Jays were white. There weren't very many black. Yeah, there might have been some black and some other races, but it was really about an ethnic cleansing and a religious cleansing, right? Because Jays practice what? Judaism. And Hitler was all about the Christian. Look, the bottom line is this. How is it racist to believe that what the Holocaust was about was not about race, when you know that it was basically white on white crime, right? It was mostly white on white crime. How is it racist to point that out? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about her saying that it wasn't about race. Let me tell y'all what it's about. Let me tell you how these people, the J-ish, have shit on lock. They have shit on lock so much that if you say anything in relation to them, to any degree, for whatever reason, whatever the topic is, whether it's perceived as positive or negative, if you say anything about the J-ish, they will come for your head. Bottom line, they don't care what she said. They cared that that their name came out her mouth. That's what it's really about. They don't care about whether she said it wasn't right. They don't care about that. They just use that as a vehicle to roll her ass over. It was an example, like, look, you don't talk about us. They went after Jay-Z for saying that the J-ish own a lot of property, my G's. They went after Jay-Z for his album 444 because he said the Jays owned a lot of property and had a lot of money and kept their money within their community. They said that was anti-Semitic. They don't give a shit that Whoopi Goldberg said it wasn't about race. They gave a shit that it was her speaking their fucking name because they don't really want no one to know. They don't want nobody talking about them. They don't want the focus on them like that because they want to do what? They want to control. They're Zionists. Zionism is about having control and having the world perceive that you don't have control. It's about them having a level of power that they don't want us to believe they have. At the end of the day,
Continue.
Brandon Tatum is a hypocrite.
20 east and then S.
That's you know, because when it comes to if let's say I called somebody a cracker, right? Let's say I was famous. Let's say Charlemagne the God called somebody a cracker, right? Or he was relating a story. They said crack. Look, Brandon Tatum would be all over that and saying that, oh, look at the racists calling him into God. It's inconsistent and it's hypocrisy. And what's worse, this guy, B. Tatum, this guy says that the Holocaust, the J-ish Holocaust, was worse than the Holocaust that black people suffered through slavery and all this other shit. If that's not the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life.
Continue on.
Listen, man.
277.
There are levels, okay? There are levels. You know, and I don't know why he had to use one Holocaust to discount another one. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is, I'm not going to say, but because he brought it up, I'm going to discuss what happened during the Black Holocaust, during this, the transatlantic slave trade. What happened there? What happened over 300 years to this day? Right, 400 total years of suffering. Let me. Y'all like to act. Some of you people out there, y'all like to act like, oh well, it wasn't that bad. You know what, this fool? I can't even. I can't even. Like, to me, it's unfathomable that this person, right? Like I said, I don't want to call him an idiot, like I would call the clown shit Lucas an idiot. I'll call him an idiot because he threatened my children. I don't want to do it to him. I don't want to say that because, you know, because I know that he knows what he's doing, right?
Proceed about 9/10 miles.
He knows what he's doing
77
when he
north.
says that shit, and he knows it's bullshit, right? The shit that comes out of his mouth, Brandon Tatum's mouth, about slavery. Oh, they didn't. Oh, some of the slaves were treated well. They were treated great. Oh, they had a house. They was living inside. They had food to eat.
Left turn onto
What the fuck?
I-77
What?
north.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, they had to feed them because they had to fucking work. Yeah, they had to try to keep them somewhat comfortable to a degree so that they can perform their fucking job picking the cotton. They're supposed to starve them to death? No, they're fucking slaves. They have to be able to perform the work. And if they tried to get free or tried to rebel or resist that fucking treatment, it goes out the window. You get in the fucking whip. Let's not talk about the number of slaves or number of people that jumped off the ships and to drown rather than to become slaves because they were given a false choice, right? What the hell? Oh, you know what? I fucked up. They'd rather die, right, in the ocean. They'd rather drown to death than to be slaves.
Proceed about 4 miles on
the number of individuals that were forced under those ships to live under horrible conditions to die from sicknesses, those who were killed for trying to get away. Listen, tens of millions of people died, right? Not tens of millions. Well, yeah, millions. Listen, millions of people died during the slave trade. Millions. Right? How many people died here? Because there were already black people in the United States before the Europeans showed up. And there are a lot of tribes, a lot of black tribes in the United States. The Seminoles is one example. Some Blackfoot, some Black Crow, right? Many people died rather than to become slaves here in this country when they showed up. Not to mention our indigenous brothers and sisters, our indigenous ancestors who I share bloodlines with, who many black people in America share bloodlines with because their ancestry traces back to some of the earliest times here in the United States before it goes back to Africa. 22
is on the right.
The oldest bones they found, the oldest skull they found in the United States belonged to a Negroid, right? A black person. So there are untold numbers of individuals that died during those 400 years, right? The disenfranchisement, the deculturing, you know what I'm saying? The lack of the ability for black people to be educated that brought us to the position we're in now. Oh, but the Jewish Holocaust is worse. He don't really believe that. He just wants to pander. That's the bottom line. Brandon Tatum is a panderer, okay? My bad, y'all. So, it's just crazy. Like, why would you have to be so full of shit? You know what? One time, I don't know if y'all remember this. Who was the HUD secretary for Donald Trump? I forgot his name. The black dude, Ben Carson. Ben Carson. Ben Carson. I remember he was on stage once, and he was talking about how slavery was great and how look at where we're at today. It's so wonderful. Oh, it's so wonderful that slavery happened, and oh man, they brought us to this land. Oh, thank God for them, right? And then Kanye West said slavery was a choice, right? Well, what if somebody said that about the Holocaust? What if somebody said, you know what, the Holocaust was a choice, right? I want y'all to really think about that. If, let's say, Dave Chappelle came out and said, you know, the Holocaust was a choice, blah, blah, blah. Because, let's face it, when injustice becomes law, right? Resistance becomes duty. We can say that about anything that, you know, any bad thing that happened to a people. We can say that. We can say, oh, the Native Americans, oh, their eradication, right, was a choice. Their endangerment, right, was a choice. The extinction of whole tribes was a choice. Because they could have just chose to go along with the Europeans and survived. It's that type of shit that comes out of people's mouths that really makes them stupid, right? Oh, slavery was a choice. Well, no, it's a false choice, right? It's a false choice. It's coercion, right? It's a false choice because you're not really making a real choice. You don't have a choice available that you really want. Because you either choose to be a slave or you choose to die. Those aren't those aren't real choices. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Those aren't real choices. If I say, look, either you go dig a hole in my yard or I'm gonna shoot you in the back of the head. Well, those aren't choices, right? Those aren't real choices that you want to choose between, right? These are forced choices or false choices that were presented to you. That's what it is. But that's the type of shit that Brandon Tatum would agree with. Oh yeah, slavery was a choice. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. They were forced into chains. They were forced onto a ship, or they were forced to march toward a plantation because they had already been here in this country before the Europeans showed. It doesn't matter. It's not real choices, y'all. Those are, if you make people choose between two things that they don't want to do, right? They got two things that they got a choice to do one or two things that they don't want to do. That's not real choices. If you remove the largest numbers of choices for people, and you limit choices to 2 or 3, and they don't have any other choices to make, even though they're available, because you're holding a gun to their head, or you're holding their job hostage, or you're threatening their children. These aren't real choices, y'all. That's what we need to understand about coercion. What is this music? What is this? I have no idea what this music is, y'all. Choices, man. Like real choices. Like it's like me. I want to choose to leave California, right? Leave California. I have 50 states to choose from, right? I have 50 states to choose from. That's a real choice, right? I choose one of 50 states that are available to me in the United States. And really, those aren't real choices either. If you think about it, because I don't have I have to get a visa and go through all this other nonsense to be able to go to another country and stay there. I had to go through all this rigmarole. But at the end of the day, that's still a choice that's available to me, because all I have to do is go fill out the paperwork and pay the fees and all this other shit. But if somebody said to me, oh, you can only choose between these two states, you can't choose between all these other 50, all these other 48 states, you can only choose between these two states, and you have to leave California, you can't stay in California, and you can only choose between these two states. Well, that's not a real choice, right? Because I don't want to go to either of these states, and I don't want to stay in California. But I have to do. Oh wait, I can't even stay in California. So I don't want to go to either of these two states when I leave California. Those aren't choices. I'm just going to whichever one so that something bad doesn't happen to me, because I don't have any other choices available to me. I don't understand this, man. Well, I do understand it. But, I just figured I thought I'd talk about that, because it blows me away when he says stupid shit like that. Like, and people think it's honest, legitimate feelings. No, he has to know better than that. He can't be that stupid, right? Let me see what y'all talking about real quick. The HYPOCRITE was good. What's up, Richard? Here's the thing. Any atrocity white people have been involved in can somehow be justified by many. Oh, absolutely. Despite how heinous it is, because the world has to be conditioned to believe it. Yeah, exactly. Richard says, hey, brother, did you hear about the so-called Fred Meyer shooting in Richland, Washington, which was another HOAX? No, I haven't heard about it. I need to look into it. Whoopi Goldberg is a known Freemason. She had her Mason outfit on live on The View, and it was a national headline. Look, I know, listen, it was a psyop, right? I don't really believe that the Whoopi Goldberg shit that happened was legitimate. Like, I don't really think that is real. It's all theater. But the lesson behind it, the idea behind it, what they're trying to convey to people, that's what is important. They're trying to convey to people that, oh, you don't say shit about the Jays or their Holocaust. If you say anything about their Holocaust or anything about them, they're coming for your head. Whoopi Goldberg's gonna be all right. She's part of the elite class. She'll be okay. Even if they fire her from The View, or even if she quits from The View, it was all part of the plan. I understand that. Rapper equals 444, Sumatra and Geometria. Yeah. Sumerian. Okay. Funny how people think that Zionist Israel runs the world when it's not them, but the Catholic Church and the Jesuits, Jews who converted to Catholicism. Well, it's still Zionism. It's still Zionism, right? The format, right? Or the way in which they rule. It's still Zionism, because it doesn't really matter if they're Jayish or not, right? Zionism isn't exclusive to Jays. It's just it's a philosophy. It's a way of ruling. So it's not really just about the Jays. But the Jays are very powerful, right? They want you, listen, the Catholic Church might appear to be the supreme, whatever you want to think. But it really is deeper than that. It's really a lot more intricate. These people band together. They work together, right, for the same goal, because at the end of the day, they have the same goals, right? To rule over you completely and utterly, and to have access to your children. They want access to your children because they want to do freaky things to your children. They think that children, in the blood of children, in the goop of children, in the penis foreskins of children, give them youthfulness and all that shit. It's at the end of the day, it's about them controlling you and having access to your children. They have the same goals. They're all the separation of religion is not real at the very tippy top. It's not real at the tippy top. All right, HYPOCRITE. You know what? What is this? Sister? No, I'm going to delete that. No, I'm going to delete that. That's going to be removed, pimping.
This fall, voters in Vermont will be asked to decide on a state constitutional amendment to guarantee abortion rights. And Pierre Sarah McCammon reports.
There's a black soccer player who kicked his cat. White people can want to give this guy the death penalty. Yep, that's how they operate.
The proposed amendment to Vermont's state constitution reads, quote, an individual's right to personal reproductive
I don't know, man.
is central to the liberty and dignity
Well, look how they came after what's his name
and shall not be denied
for the dog fights. It wasn't even really him doing the dog fights. It was his homies. What's his name? The quarterback, the black quarterback from Atlanta. I forgot his name. White people put animals before people of color. You could drop a bomb on 150 people of color children, and there won't be as much outcry as would if you by accident hit your dog. Yeah, no shit. South Carolina Public Radio. The fuck? So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, this shit right here, all this shit about race and all that, it's really just division, right? It's really just division. It's another divisive tool. And what's funny is people like Brandon Tatum are always talking about how, oh, it's racial division, this is divisive, they want you to fight. But then he'll spew this bullshit. He'll completely lambast and go after black people for some shit. But he goes soft on white people. How is that not divisive? If you go after people and talk shit about people about race baiting, racial division, this, that, and the third, but you do the same shit, how are we supposed to take you seriously? How are we supposed to take you seriously when you do the very thing that you go after people for? That divisive behavior that you say other people are doing. It's always about race with Brandon Tatum too. Just because you don't like to point out racism like some black people do, in the way that they do it, doesn't mean that you're not doing it. You're just doing it in a different way. You're doing it for the opposite side. And that's division. I want to focus on getting everyone freedom. Obtaining freedom for everyone. So people can live as they choose and mind their own fucking business and keep other people out of their fucking business. But how can that happen when people like him have such a huge platform who go out of their way to create more division. Because that's what he's doing. Because he has to pander to his white base. Y'all know me, I don't pander to anybody. I don't pander to anybody. I keep it real. I'm anti-government. I am pro-anarchy, pro-freedom, anti-statist, anti-state, anti-statism, authoritarianism, anti-dictatorship, anti-monarchy, anti-patriarchy. All of it. Like, I'm against all that shit. You can't have freedom with those systems in place. Oh, we need government. Oh, what about the roads? And what about the bridges? Government don't build bridges. Governments don't build roads. It's the people, right? The people. When I'm out there and I'm seeing the road work being done, I don't see the government out there. I see hardworking individuals doing that shit. And the engineers that go to school and they learn how to do that shit. The engineers that put the idea together, in the soil surveyor that comes out to make sure, okay, you got this level of soil here, you got this much compaction. It's not good idea to build here. It is a good idea to build here. Oh, let's check the soil. Let's let's make sure that all this type of shit. Government didn't imbue these people with this knowledge. They already had the aptitude for it, and then they learned how to do it. The government didn't build cars. All they did was come out with the permission slip for you to be able to drive them, that you have to pay for. Who determines the speeds? Oh, what speed is safe to go down this highway or go down this street? Intelligent people that run tests. You don't need government to run tests. It can be done by people. And for major projects, the government hires private contractors to do the shit. Private contractors. We can do the same as a people. We just put our money together. You know how the government extorts us? We could put our money together and save a lot more money and get better quality work done. Because we control who does the work. And we control, okay, you're not performing to the task. Get your ass out of here. We're going to get somebody else. We don't need government for that. Marcy T, how you doing? How about Elite versus all of us and Uncle Tom's going along with it just to prove that they are not worth listening to? Exactly. Mind thy own business. Exactly. That should be the first commandment. As a matter of fact, I'm going to come out with some 10 freedom commandments. Thank you for Marcy T for inspiring that idea in me. I'm going to come out with 10 freedom commandments that everyone can live by, and the world will be a much better place. I tell you that right now. Visas are corrupt. I agree. We have a corrupt mind control agents planning to redrum all of us over 20 years old. Redrum? Yeah, probably. Oh, red rum. My bad. Like the truckers raised 10 million they stole it. Oh, well, this is what we're going to do with your money now. These people are fucking crazy, man. These people are fucking crazy. But, the truckers are doing a good thing, man. That's one way to do it. You disrupt commerce, you disrupt government, and show how impotent they are. Because they can't even get the tow truck drivers to tow these trucks away. That shows the level of impotency. See, if you don't have the people that are willing to come out and act on the government's behalf to do their bidding, then the government is weak. These politicians, they're not going to come out. Justin Trudeau is not going to go and arrest a trucker. He's going to have the pigs do it. And if the pigs decide that they're not going to do it, well, there's nothing he can do about it. He's had to go to the military. Oh, military go do it. What if the military decides not to do it? They say, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that to truckers. They're not really doing anything wrong. Well, what does he do at that point? He doesn't have the enforcers to do what he wants. The government is weak sauce without the enforcers. And there are more of us than there are their enforcers. Especially in America, where we have 350 million tools that we could use for our defense. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. I just dropped my mom off at the airport. It's, what time is it? 6 in the morning. Whew. I had to get up at 4. I think I'm gonna give me a quick workout in, and yeah, that'll be that. Anyway, much love, guys. Thank you for hitting that like button. If y'all come up in here, hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. I got a meeting on the 13th on Sunday with my people that the group I'm getting with to make things happen, and we're going to be discussing some things. So I'm looking forward to that. And after that, it's going to be on. It's going to be on, Pippins. Oh, and my new toy just came in for my birthday. My new birthday present just came in to the FFL, and I'm gonna go pick that up today at noon. I got less than 6 hours before I go pick up my new toy, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to running some rounds through it. I need to zero all my long sticks. I need to zero all my long sticks and my new stick. I need to run some rounds through it. I need to zero everything, so everything is copacetic. And I'm really disappointed because I thought this FFL was, I was picking up at an actual stick shop, but it's not a stick shop. It's some location that's weird. It's like a drop, you know what I mean? A mail drop for people that's convenient for people to live in the area to go pick up the shit. But anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, let's keep marching forward toward freedom. All right. Look forward to good content coming up. I will keep doing these live streams just to, keep giving information, in my opinion, about certain situations. But it's really about to be a step up soon. So much love. Peace out.